Let me ask you about, on the Republican side, Ron DeSantis. What do you think of him as a candidate running against Donald Trump?
I think in the couple of weeks before our discussion today, his campaign, which hasn't even started, has sort of started to implode. And this was something that I started thinking about in September, October. He really doesn't seem ready for prime time in the sense that just being confronted, and confronted is not even the right word, just being asked about some topics he didn't really seem to want to talk about. He responded in such a sort of disproportionate, unhinged way. During his recent trip to Asia, he was asked about why aren't you, or why are you responding, but in this weird way, to Trump's attacks on you? And he went into this weird bobblehead thing with a weird smile, and something came out that didn't make any sense. And he sort of got mad at the reporter. And it was just like, if you can't handle that, you can't be on a debate stage with Donald Trump. And again, for all my criticisms of Trump, the guy gets you on a debate stage, he can make you look pretty silly. He was recently asked about his role at Guantanamo Bay when he was an officer in, I forget which branch of the armed forces. And he just sort of attacked the journalist asking the question. And it just looked very bad. And there are increasingly big Republican donors who are not fans of Trump and were sort of hoping to put their eggs in the Ron DeSantis basket, who are saying, this guy just doesn't have what it takes. I don't think he can do it. So I don't know if DeSantis will be able to get away. Once you're polling 20 something like he is, and you haven't even announced, it's very attractive. And he probably to some degree is thinking, if I wait till 2028, I might not have this opportunity again. But Trump's polling 52, 53, which means even if DeSantis gets all of the current non-Trump vote, he has to figure out how to take something more from Trump. I just don't know how he does it.
First of all, the implosion aspect, that's part of the process, isn't it? You kind of implode a bunch of times.
And then rebuild yourself.
And rebuild, and because the news cycle kind of forgets.
It's possible. The problem is the first debate is in August. So that's only a few months away. And the decision is going to have to be made pretty soon. And unless he can get a new momentum going, I just don't know how he gets what he needs in order to really have a shot.
So would anyone else run against Donald Trump?
It's very tough right now. I mean, there are other people running. There's this guy, Vivek Ramaswamy, who's running. Nikki Haley is running. Her campaign basically dead on arrival. Trump actually does better in polls the more people run. When it's just him and DeSantis, that's the best scenario for DeSantis. It's not great for DeSantis, but it's certainly better. But I think the difficulty is, this is a question for Republicans to figure out. The people who rightly recognized in 2016 that this guy is not good for their party still believe this guy is not good for their party. But many of them recognize that most of the voters are still behind him. You can always say it's early, his polling doesn't really mean anything could happen. Something major would have to happen for Trump to lose that lead. If he got more, if he was arrested 2 more times and had more indictments, and it just became like, this guy can't even campaign because he's so busy going from court to court, maybe that would make a difference. It's really tough to imagine.